one tonight. Offensive lineman Josh Lugg. Whenever you guys are ready, go ahead.
Thoughts, emotions, overall outlook going through the senior week process, I guess?
It's like any other week. It's a great opportunity for us to honor our seniors here. And we got a lot of them this year, so to be able to recognize them and all the work they've done from starters to locker room guys that have huge roles in the program. It's a good opportunity, but at the end of the day, senior day is not great unless we execute our job and do what we need to do. So I think guys right now have a great focus, especially after this Tuesday practice. Everyone's kind of locked in, knowing that we still have to execute and do our job. It's great to celebrate that on the side, but the best way we can honor our seniors is playing our best ball. So.
Obviously, Boston College or any team wants to come here and they always want to beat Notre Dame, whether that's here or on the road. Do they have extra motivation, to quote-unquote ruin your senior night, and does that provide any extra enthusiasm on you guys' end?
Yeah, I can't speak for them. I don't know where they're at mentally with that, but for us, it's every week we have to treat our opponents as a faceless opponent, do our preparation or study, stay late on Tuesdays on the field, working our B blocks and our A blocks, and always improving on the basics so that on Saturday we're ready to go.
Against Navy, kind of a tale of two halves where you guys came out strong, scored 35 first half, and then kind of tapered off in the second half. What was sort of the difference in your mind between those two halves?
Yeah, I know some things aren't going to go the way you want them to go, and you often have to just look at what are the basics and fundamentals that I need to improve on to execute. If you try overcorrecting in times when things are challenging, or if you get away from the basics and fundamentals of your play, then things will seem chaotic. But if you can really just dial in with one another and communicate with each other and say, hey, let's not overcorrect what we're doing, let's just make some fine-tuned adjustments, then you'll start to see some better success. And we learned a lot of great lessons on Saturday, and watching the film, I thought this film that we watched yesterday was some of the best film to learn from all season. And just being able to communicate with one another, say, hey, what could we have done to improve? And now we're taking that information going into this week and feel like we're a little bit better. We're ready to attack this week.
What made it the best film to kind of learn from, as you said?
Yeah, so when you win games, sometimes your mistakes will be overshadowed. We won this game, but we realized that we had a ton of mistakes and need to be cleaned up, because if we do that again, we'll get beat if we make those same mistakes. So, looking at it and communicating with one another, especially going against a defense that, had a lot of cover zero blitz thrown in there. It's like, all right, teams might try to replicate this in the future. How can we block this better? I understand, what was our process on the sidelines when we were communicating with one another to make sure that this doesn't happen again, and that we're at our best on command. That's the most important thing. Is all of us, all five, using our basics to be at our best.
To see the versatility of the offense, what's it like for you guys as a line to be able to change up from the run game to dominating in the pass game?
Yeah, I think it's exciting. Drew Pine did a great job, and he's really done a great job all season, getting us in the right looks, checking the protection, making sure that he's protecting himself with how he's setting the protections, and then having the belief in us to execute so that he can make those plays downfield. And then we have our backfield, the three-headed monsters. And it's fun when they're in there and they're running the ball behind, picking them up after, and they got the smile on their face. So I think to be able to have an offense now that is firing on all cylinders, it's exciting for everybody.
And you said earlier in the season, I think it was before the Cal game, we talked about Drew being the golden standard, representing Notre Dame. Is he still living up to that? And
Drew is always the golden standard. He doesn't change. That's why he's the golden standard. He's one of those guys that doesn't get fazed by many things. And every day he walks in there with a smile on his face and always looking to improve, asking us, hey, what could you do a little bit better? And we're asking him, what do you need to be at your best? And that's the best part about this place, is everybody wants each other to succeed, and we really have a deep care and love for one another.
And maybe my last one is Freeman's, thoughts on what Freeman's been able to do with this program from week one to, this week against BC.
Yeah, his challenge to us to constantly improve, one play, one life. That's been the biggest thing. Is we've had our bumpy road that we've been on. We could say the bumpy road to better, and minimizing those bumps throughout the season. You could really see that through the film, whether that's on Saturdays or in practices. also guys, the brotherly love and the unit strength that we have. I haven't been a part of a team yet this my career at Notre Dame that's been this close. From our offensive line in general, yes, like we've always been close, but now like different position groups now that are hanging out with one another and always around. The locker room environment it's contagiously good for this program, and I hope it continues after the senior class leaves. And I know it will continue because from top down, everyone is committed to the process of being together and sacrificing for one another.
Not a full-grown one, but maybe a baby elephant in the room. The Joe Moore Award semifinalists coming out today, and Notre Dame now find themselves on the list. Just overall thoughts?
Yeah, that's one of our goals every year is to help Notre Dame win, be the best version of ourselves, and win the Joe Moore Award. So we're disappointed, but it's not going to stop us from wanting to do our best on Saturday. We're going to execute at a high level, have our best on command, and go back to the basics. And we're looking forward to just continue to keep getting better with each other, playing together.
Obviously, 110% is given all the time. Is that any added or extra motivation at all?
Sure. I think guys already have a great amount of motivation on Saturdays to give their best for one another. And I think we try to instill that in the season long so that things like this maybe, like we shouldn't be affected by outside noise, if that makes sense, you know? Like on a Saturday, I shouldn't need someone else or something being said to get me going to be at my best on command. It's like I should already be willing to give my best on command through my training, winter conditioning, summer conditioning, and then fall camp and practice.
You spoke to the closeness of the program in like today's NIL culture, I guess, with somebody in the program. How important is that to be close?
Oh, it's critical. NIL, it could either split teams and break them apart, or it can bring guys together. And it's cool to see like different NIL things where guys are working together. I think once Notre Dame starts making some moves where like whole teams can be a part of NIL functions together, it's special and it's exciting for guys. And I think that we have the right culture here for NIL, where you guys aren't going to have individuality and guys getting jealous or whatever. Like that's just not the case. And like guys know that like Michael Mayer is going to make more than Josh Lugg in NIL, and like that's no problem with that. He deserves that. So I think guys are happy for one another in this program and want to see each other succeed. Just like you would see on the campus with students. It's like everybody wants to see each other succeed here. And that's the one thing I realized here in my 6 years at Notre Dame, is it's the people. It's always been the people, because they care for one another.
Thanks, Josh.
Thank you.
Thank you.